just in. Prince Harry stripped of his titles and racing to London. That headline is everywhere. It sounds final, it sounds urgent, it sounds believable after what just happened to another royal. But when you look for a palace notice, a legal instrument, or coverage from outlets that always break real royal news, the picture changes. One senior royal really did lose everything. Officially, on paper. It just wasn't Harry. Here's the part the viral posts blur. In late October and early November 2025, the palace initiated and then completed a formal process to remove Prince Andrew's styles and titles. Not rumors, not whispers. A letters patent under the Great Seal, dated November 3rd, that stripped the dignity of Prince, ended the use of His Royal Highness, and, in reporting from multiple outlets, removed the Duke of York title as well. That's a once-in-a-generation step, and it's been described in plain English by reputable sources. Why does that matter here? Because once one domino falls, the internet starts pushing the rest. After Andrew's titles were formally revoked, speculation engines immediately moved to Harry. He's next, it's happening, he's been stripped. He's already on a plane. Those lines spread fast. But speculation isn't paperwork, and there is no new paperwork on Harry. Today, he remains the Duke of Sussex, with his subsidiary titles of Earl of Dumbarton and Baron Kilkeel. And he is a prince by birth. The 2020 understanding still stands. He and Meghan do not use HRH in daily life. That's the official status, and there's been no palace announcement changing it. Let's talk mechanics for 10 seconds, because process is everything. Titles and styles aren't removed by vibe, opinion, or trending clip. They are removed by instruments, like the letters patent used against Andrew, or by statute. There is a removal of titles bill in Parliament that would give the monarch clearer powers in some cases, but that bill is a proposal, not law. If it advanced, you'd see it on the official bill tracker. If the king acted independently again, you'd expect Crown Office, wording, and publication. Without those paper trails, the word stripped is just a thumbnail. So where did Harry race to the UK come from? It rides the same wave. One real event followed by 1,000 copy-paste narratives. If a senior royal makes a sudden transatlantic flight, serious outlets light up immediately. They did when Harry visited in September 2025 for charity work. That was logged, photographed, covered. Right now, there's no reputable outlet confirming a new emergency dash to London tied to title news. The races to the UK line circulates mostly through aggregators and rumor pages because it fits the plot, not because it matches the diary. Let's zoom back to the only thing that actually changed the royal landscape this month, Andrew's fall. The palace signaled the move, the Lord Chancellor was instructed to prepare the necessary documents, and a letters patent was issued. That's not commentary, that's constitutional plumbing. Reports detail that Andrew is now styled Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, with the HRH style withdrawn and the prince dignity removed. Coverage also ties the decision to years of mounting pressure over his association with Jeffrey Epstein, a convicted sex offender, and renewed public scrutiny. However you feel about the palace's timing, the key is that it happened, on the record. And once that happened, a predictable cycle began. Opinion pages asked, who's next? Aggregators quoted palace sources and claimed Harry could lose the dukedom. Some pieces pointed to a possible future decision under a future monarch. All of that keeps the clicks coming. But most of those stories, if you read past the headline, still land in the same place. No official action's been taken against Harry. When something real happens, there are receipts. When it's noise, there are unnamed sources and recycled scripts. It's worth pausing on the paperwork again, because that's how you separate heat from light. When the king changes titles, he can issue letters patent, a formal instrument that gets referenced and typically published. When Parliament wants to reshape the framework, it drafts a bill. Right now, you can see the removal of titles bill on the public tracker with its sponsor listed, its scope defined, and its status visible. That's how law works. Slowly, publicly, and with documents you can point to. Breaking news without documents is usually just momentum. So what's Harry's status today? Clean, simple, and sourceable. He's the Duke of Sussex. He remains in the line of succession. He and Meghan set out the 2020 arrangement not to use HRH. Those facts are reflected in official materials and have not been replaced by a palace update. If those facts change, reputable outlets will publish within minutes, and you'll see precise wording like you saw in Andrew's case. Until then, headlines that treat speculation as certainty deserve a quiet side-eye. You might be wondering, if Andrew's case set a precedent, couldn't the same be done to Harry? The short answer is yes, in theory. The Crown just showed it can act decisively via letters patent. The longer answer is that every case is different. The circumstances, the public interest, the constitutional optics, and the practical effects all factor in. That's why legal analysts and the House of Commons Library talk about the mechanism, not the rumor. Mechanisms you can cite. Rumors you can only repeat. Now, let's deal with the timing tricks that make rumors feel real. First, anchoring. Pair a true thing, Andrew's title's gone, with a dramatic maybe, Harry's next, so the maybe borrows the weight of the true thing. Second, urgency. Add just in, races to London, shocking decision, so your brain moves faster than your skepticism. Third, looping. Dozens of channels repeat the same frame until it feels familiar. Familiar isn't factual. Documents are factual. If you want a simple checklist before you share a royal headline, use this. 1. Is there a palace notice or a letters patent? 2. Is there a Crown Office reference or Gazette entry? 3. Is the bill you're hearing about actually on the Parliament site? 4. Are multiple reputable outlets using the same precise language? If the answer is no, what you have is probably narrative, not news. So here's the status at this hour. Confirmed. Andrew's titles and styles were formally withdrawn via letters patent. He's now Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. That is a legal, documented change and a major constitutional moment. Confirmed. Harry remains the Duke of Sussex. HRH not used since 2020. No new action announced against him. In motion, but not law, a removal of titles bill proposed in the Commons. Watch those 3 signals. Palace instruments, parliamentary trackers, and consistent language across credible outlets to know what's real the moment it happens. The internet loves a dramatic just in. The monarchy works in documents. Andrew's fall shows the Crown will act when it chooses to, and when it does, the paperwork shouts. If a similar move were aimed at Harry, you wouldn't need to dig. It would be unmistakable. Until that day, separate what's official from what's amplified. One royal's titles are gone by law. One royal's titles remain intact despite the noise. If you want more breakdowns that cut past thumbnails and stick to what's actually on paper, subscribe and click the notification bell. Here, we follow the evidence, because in royal reporting, the difference between a rumor and a reality is one line of text on a letters patent.